Hi, everyone. So, you want to start?
Well, I haven't been standing up here in a long time. It's great. Good to see everybody. In 2008, I was lucky enough to hear about a device that was used in animals for influencing brain function, and it was using 1072 nanometer infrared light. And when I contacted the people who had designed it, they said that they would come and put it on the head of a woman that I was working with primary progressive aphasia, and that's what they brought. And I said, oh, Darth Vader meets Doctor Who. And what we found was that I had been working with this person using neurofeedback, and then when we added this, there was a significant improvement. So I started to understand that there was a relationship between neurofeedback and photobiomodulation that I thought was really important, and I wanted to bring that information to the field. And so Quiet Mind Foundation became focused on how do we integrate photobiomodulation and neurofeedback. And when I did the research study using that other device, I found that people were wanting to give me their checkbook in order to continue to use the device, and I said, well, we can't do that. And so I then started looking for a device that would give some semblance of the same kind of delivery, and the heavens opened, and I saw the V-Lite Neuro and realized that that was the option available at the time. This is the design of the device that we then used for a double-blind N of 100 study, multi-site at Texas A&M's Baylor Scott and White Hospital and the Department of Neurosurgery. And we used this to give people an opportunity to take the device home, and they used it twice a day for 6 minutes, spread out by 4 to 5 hours. And the results were compellingly positive. But I then realized that when I saw the QEEG data, what we saw was a significant improvement in power, but not in connectivity. So that's when I saw that we really needed to add neurofeedback. So I then designed what's now, what was then called the Neuronic, and the Neuradiant device has the 1070 nanometer, but it also has been divided so you can do programmable delivery of light in the frontal, occipital, left, and right hemispheres. And a couple of years later, now I'm no longer working with Neuronic, and now found that Sanjay had developed a device based on the Neuradiant, but had altered it and advanced some of the features. And so I wanted to make sure that Sanjay was here and sharing the information about the new device. And we're moving forward in terms of bringing the full integration in a closed loop model to the field. And I am still clicker agnostic.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks, Marvin. So I'll be speaking about the Neuromatrix bit. So the Neuromatrix uses 1070 nanometers of light and has some specialized software to help us to program the helmet and also presets in it. So there's 256 LEDs at around 1060 to 1070 nanometers. Each LED is 20 to 40 milliwatt per centimeter squared of irradiance, and 4 programmable quadrants, left front, left right, and left back and right back. And it can be programmed to flash. Each LED can be programmed to flash from 0 to about 20,000 hertz. So when you turn on the Neuromatrix, you'll see a screen with some presets, and we'll be adding more over time as we discover things that people can use right away. So there's a preset for relax, sleep, rejuvenate, focus, bright mind, and meditate. So I want to talk a little bit about, step back a bit here and talk a little bit about how I actually started this business this year. So I've been a meditation teacher, besides being a psychotherapist, a meditation teacher for a long time, and I'm a meditator for 40 years. And I started to play around with flashing infrared light at different frequencies, along with using ultrasound for awakening. So we created a company called Alchemist in 6 years ago to try to advance technology for awakening and deep meditation states, using ultrasound to quiet the brain and infrared to help the brain to get into altered states. And that company folded, and my partner is still working with ultrasound, started a new company to support different brain conditions and mental health. And I continued playing with photobiomodulation. And I did a study with V-Light, with the V-Light Neuro Pro, on using high-frequency stimulation to enter meditation states, and found that it's very interesting. The higher the frequency of stimulation, the deeper you can go into meditation. And there seems to be a real correspondence. And I started to have my meditation students try these headsets, and they loved it. And they wanted to take them home. Just like Marvin was saying, people wanted to give him a check when he started to use photobiomodulation. So, and have access to these headsets, and so I started to program them as well and give them to my students, and they wanted to buy them. So that's how organically the company got started. I said, okay, well, here's a headset that's easy to use and also programmable, and I can use that for meditation as well. So I'll be creating a new website called Meditate with Light that's going to resell the NeuroPro 2 and these devices. And the Neuromatrix, my company, for meditation purposes exclusively. And we also have another website, Neuromatrix for Health, for selling these headsets for all sorts of users. So there's two different markets. So some of the preset protocols, the sleep program obviously uses low frequency, so 1 and 2 hertz, and runs for 8 minutes. The relax program runs 5, 7, and 10 hertz at 50% power for 4 minutes each. The focus program runs 7 hertz for 3 minutes, 40 hertz for 3 minutes, and then 10 hertz at the back, 14 hertz at the right front, and 18 hertz at the left front cortex. And so in this way, we also have the possibility to do custom programs. We found that these built-in programs are quite effective. I'll often have people run a combination of 40 hertz or relax or focus as a way of changing their state. So the Bright Mind runs 40 hertz with 75% power for 12 minutes. And 40 hertz is like a magical frequency. You know, the MIT research showed that when they flashed the light of cages of mice bred to have Alzheimer's at 40 hertz, the visual light flashing itself led to a decrease in plaque and activation of microglial activity and an increase in the lymphatic clearance in the brain. And also 40 hertz tones also affected the auditory cortex in the hippocampus similarly. So at 40 hertz seems to be really great at cleaning up the brain, reducing inflammation, and brightening the mind. So at Rejuvenate runs 0 hertz, which gives 100% power to the brain, and it's basically, like Marvin says, putting gas in the tank. It's nurturing for the mitochondria and feeds the brain energy to do its tasks, including whatever training you want to do. So the Meditate program is based on my research in meditation, and it uses a sequence of frequencies starting from low to high. So if we think about our usual state of mind has a certain level of power in the alpha, theta, low beta, and beta frequencies. When we want to meditate, we want to move out of our conscious functioning range, and we can do that by emphasizing both the lower and the higher frequencies. So we want to move out of the usual range into low and high. So we start with 5, 7, 10, just sort of tuning the brain basically at the usual frequencies, and then start to go into really high frequencies. The lower frequencies create a relaxation base, and the higher frequencies are not just stimulating, but they're expanding. They create a sense of expansion, joy, delight, openness, and a deep sense of ease and calm. So you can see that we are going all the way to about 1,000 hertz, and then stopping at around 14 hertz. And this is like what I call the stage 1 meditation program. Since then, I've been playing around with more meditation programs, which are available, in which we're going all the way to a 3,000 hertz. And my meditation students also, after they practice for a while, then they go to even higher frequencies. Is you can individualize the frequency at which you're operating at and in which you want to explore as a meditation state. Another interesting thing that we discovered is that using these high frequency stimulation, when crashes the alpha, theta, and beta power. So it acts, which is similar to an effect of a psychedelic on the brain. So it's acting like a cyber psychedelic in a mini way. And so we found in our studies it's higher scores on the mystical experience questionnaire on transcendence as well as ineffability. So there's a custom mode, and in the custom mode, you'll find that you can program in 4 programs, which will be saved with 9 steps each. A standard mode in a sweep also can be programmed. In the standard mode, you can just run any frequency you type into the whole brain, in all the quadrants. And there's a lock option to lock and unlock the programs. So if you want to program something for a client, you can unlock it, program it, and lock it so the client can't change it. And so in the lock mode, they just run the program. But in the unlock mode, you get the steps. You can program and run. So each step will lead you to a picture of the 4 quadrants where you can set the duty cycle and the frequency, and also whether you want the program to be, the quadrant to be on or off. So tapping the frequency button will let you tap in the frequency, tapping the time button in the center, the timing in the center will let you type in the time. Sweep mode is available where you can start a sweep from a certain frequency, go up by a certain number of steps, and for a certain time, and end at a certain frequency. So the Neuromatrix is being used for enhancing cognitive function, improving circulation, reducing inflammation, boosting mood, and deepening meditation. And as clinicians, we will be using photobiomodulation with or without neurofeedback. So you can, the headset is very easy to use. So people can buy it, take it home, and use it, particularly for more chronic conditions like, cognitive decline, dementia. You want people to buy it and use it at home, 6 days a week. So in general, you can use it for brain fog, attention focus issues, trauma and emotional overload, movement and motor function issues, brain injury, recovery from brain injury. As well as we have another study currently starting on using the headset with beginning meditators with a protocol that we teach them, and our goal is to show that it will really improve their ability to acquire meditation skills.
So one of the things that we're doing now is to integrate the transcranial and the intranasal delivery of the light in order to get to lower brain areas. And also because we saw in our research that the foundation sponsored, the IRB sponsored, that Bob Bowen and Praveen Irani did using a comparison of the Thor laser bed with the Neuradiant device. And they showed that people with long COVID that were independently diagnosed for at least 5 months, if they did 14 minutes 3 times a week for a month, then it didn't matter whether they did the bed or the Neuradiant device, they completely remitted from their long COVID symptoms after a 4-week trial. And so what we're looking at now is whether we can get similar results by using an intranasal device. And I have some here, and I'm hoping that the clinicians here will work with me about getting people to use the technology. And I hope everybody will come and talk to me about that.
Okay, so Great. So here's our contact info. I mean, I could have shown more slides on some of our results and the high frequency stimulation, et cetera, but we just kept the vendor demo simple. We'll take questions. Happy to talk with you if you have any questions or comments.
Some of you missed our Laurel and Hardy Act yesterday.
Yeah, so we had a 3-hour workshop yesterday, a vendor workshop yesterday, so I didn't want to get into the weeds here, but happy to answer any questions about the device. Yes?
Any use for Parkinson's? Because I remember that was one of your first patients with...
Yeah, the Parkinson's cohort in the original study was unexpected because we were doing an early to mid-stage dementia trial, but there was a cohort of about 10 people who had Parkinson's, and when we did the post-interview with the family and the subject, there was a significant improvement in gait stability, masking, mood, apathy, all the typical Parkinson's symptoms. And I've had numerous people with Parkinson's now over the years using it and getting good results, especially combining with neurofeedback and functional medicine.
So we're in booths, we're in the Neuromatrix and Quiet Mind Foundation booth is right as you enter on your right, as you enter the vendor hall at E2. So feel free to visit us. I would say also for Parkinson, you might want to use combination of 0 hertz, 10 hertz, 14 hertz, and 40 hertz. That would be a starting point. And then, there's the ability to, which I didn't mention, is to use the cue, and then you customize the program for the brain and for the patient's goals based on the cue, and you can do that programming in the headset. So, if you buy one, then you get consulting with us, and we'll train you how to program the headset based on the QEEG. Yes?
Is there any problem with men who are afraid that if you touch their head, they're going to lose their hair? I mean, is there...
Who's there here?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the opposite, right? I mean, if anything, it helps to grow here. Okay. It's, so you get all these red laser, so-called LED and laser devices to grow here. They run at 660 nanometers. This is 1070 nanometers, which is specifically designed to heal the brain, not to grow here. But it's likely to grow here because it has the same beneficial activity on the hair cells, which generally infrared light activates mitochondrial activity and cell signaling and reduces cell death, improves cell proliferation and migration in all tissues of the body. And that's why the LED beds we tried to use in the long COVID, which you can buy for $50,000 plus for the whole body. So yeah, it actually will grow here, if anything. Yeah, thanks for the question.
Dr. Berman, you mentioned that you were looking for the possibility of clinicians finding individuals who might work with you. And I was wondering how they might go about that and what that would look like.
I can answer that a lot better if I understood the words. I'm having a little trouble hearing.
Hi. I wanted to follow up on your statement about looking for individuals who might be interested in engaging in the study with you. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
We support the clinicians within the neurofeedback community who want to do clinical research. That's what we do. And we have our own federally assured IRB so that we can support people. And I'm now in conversation with the new board members about how do we support ISNR and the membership by allowing them opportunities to do guided research supported by an IRB that actually knows what they're doing. So that's us.
Thank you.
Good.
Also, as a Neuromatrix, we have a great reseller program. So you can get the headsets we have a great conference discount and a great reseller program that will, that's basically creates a win-win situation for you and your clients. So you can come and talk to us about that. And talking about growing hair, some people were using using the helmet is designed in such a way that you can put it on your face, and we haven't done any studies on that, but we know that that there's lots of studies on helping the skin with the the cheap mask that you buy, and this is much stronger and better,
So
and goes deeper.
So we started a study, a cosmetic study with a device using the 1070 in January of 2020. We didn't quite get to finish that study, but what we found was that all of the women who participated in the study who happened to be in the active treatment group never gave their devices back. And I know one of them because she's the mother of my son-in-law, and she swears by it every day and uses it every day. That's not a topic I thought I was going to bring up in this presentation, but it does, 1070 does, it excites the production of elastin. So, yes, put it on your face.
Go ahead.
Yes, this will be our last question. Here you are. So, that's loud. Since you're in the zone anyway, have you found effects on eyes, whether for glaucoma or macular degeneration or anything like that?
There is now a device approved by the FDA for macular degeneration using infrared light. We started a study in South Africa years and years ago that we didn't publish on, but the people who were participating only treated one eye, and they were at a severe level of ARMD, and they could not even watch television. And after, I think it was 3 months of using the device on one eye, the people could watch TV. So there's now very solid evidence for there being a reason to continue to explore using photobiomodulation for ARMD, wet and dry.
Thank you.
Thanks for that question, that's great.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Berman and Dr. Manchanda.